What's good, everybody? We back with a new video, man. Back in the new section, the new topics of my brain and what's on my mind, and hopefully, you can align. But with that being said, you know what today is. It's a beautiful Sunday, Easter Sunday. All the people that celebrating this holiday and this religious day, shouts to you. And actually, that's the topic of today is religion. And I guess I'll give my take on what I believe in or what I'm into as far as religion goes. First, my definition of a religion is something to me like a group of people that have the same belief system. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but I think more so when the word religion to me sometimes gets a little bit exploited and people use it for monetary gain. Sometimes, not all the time. And, I see that more than often, and I'm not a big fan of that. So I think my opinion on what I think religion should be is, you have a belief, even if it's with a large group of people and y'all are pure at heart and go by what's right and are against what's wrong, and money or any kind of gain above another person shouldn't be accepted. If I had to classify myself with anything, I would say that I'm more spiritual than anything. And I tend not to follow the groups, and I just go with what I was born with. We were all put here on this earth the same. We got here the same way. We might not leave all the same way, but our body shuts down the same way. So we're no different from another person or another group of people. And so I just feel like, we're born. I was born. I'll speak for myself. I was born with my senses. I know right from wrong. Once I get mature, that develops, consciousness develops, a sense of compassion develops, love, respect, looking out for another person develops as you grow, and those things are instilled within you. In my opinion, I don't think those things can be taught or can be, not should be. They can be taught because we develop these things like as a natural reaction. So when it comes to my belief and my spirituality, I think that, I was put here by my creator, and my goal here is to do right and to live righteous and to treat people like I want to be treated. And I feel like whatever's after this life, I'll be blessed with, or if I end up in another life, I don't know. I haven't been there. And that's the way I think. And that's the way I feel about a lot of things. And I just say, I step outside every day and try to, live righteously. I know I'm going to mess up. I know I got flaws. I know I'm not perfect, and I never try to be. I never will try to be. And I, pay my respects to my creator and everything in this world that was created, and show appreciation to everything that's on this planet for as long as I live. So that's how I go about life. Yes, I do pray daily, multiple times sometimes. And, I pay my respects before I eat, things like that. As soon as I open my eyes in the morning, or, in the afternoon when I wake up, because I work late. And yeah, it's just that's how I carry my life. That's how I move around. I don't, go to church on Sundays or nothing like that. I have family that do. I was raised in the church, and, I have family members and, people that I love that ask me like, when are you going to church? When are you going to church? And I've never really said nothing about like my belief system, and I think honestly, I never said anything because I didn't want to disrespect the people that love me. And, they have their best interests at heart when they ask me these things. So I tend to, not say nothing, and hopefully it blows over or whatever. But this video, actually, if any of them watch this will be the first time of them ever really hearing of my religious views or spiritual views. But yes, I do believe in a higher power. I don't just go out here and not believe in anything. So I do pray to what's greater than me, what created me, and I pay respect, and I live as righteous as I can. And I think, you know, everybody put on this earth to be their self. They say we got free will, and you have that will to do as you please, whether it be negative or positive. And I feel in my heart sincerely that I'm living as positive as I can at the moment. I know it can get better, and it will get better in time. You know, I'm a work in progress, and I know that. So I'm conscious of that, and I'm getting better and better every day. I can feel it. I can see it. I speak it, and it's nothing or nobody that can stop me from getting better as a person, you know? So yeah, like, hopefully, you know, the people that see this can respect it. My friends and family, you reach out and talk to me, and the other people that watch this, how do you feel and what do you believe in? I know it's a real, like a sensitive topic, but you know, I picked today not to be disrespectful, but just to like put some light on some things and highlight the day, you know, and show respect to everybody's religion. And, you know, I don't know, try to bring things together, start a conversation piece or something, you know. And this actually did start as a conversation. And I had this in my topic list for a while, probably for about like 3 or 4 months. And I've been putting it on the back burner because I ain't really want to jump out there and talk about it. But then I had a conversation, and it was like, hey, and then, you know, it's Sunday, Easter Sunday. So I'm like, why not? It just happened, like boom, boom, boom. So I was like, why not? Let's do it. So yeah, man, that's me. That's my system. But, you know, respect to the holiday and the people that went to church and praise, you know, Jesus and things of that nature. And I know my family might ask, why don't you? I'm not sure if I even want to get into that and like really elaborate on that, but I'll just say it starts back from, you know, slavery for me and what was forced upon us when we were allegedly brought here. But that's another thing too. I think we were already here. But, you know, as far as my ancestors, I won't say myself, but we are a product of it, a result of it. Ancestors were forced. They weren't able to read anything but, you know, the Bible. There are instances when I was young, I used to, you know, look through the Bible, and, you know, my grandmother had a book, and in the back of the Bible, I only seen white angels. I didn't see nobody that looked like me. And that stuck with me. Those are like core memories. I vividly remember that. And then, you know, you see, and don't get me wrong, I know it's not about color, but the representation of what Jesus was affected me, because in my mind as a child, I'm like, why don't I see anybody that looked like me? So that was instilled in me. I never said anything about it, but it's just something that affected me my whole life. And then, you know, I got my grandmother had like a picture of Jesus on the wall, and it just like hit a core nerve for me, and it always stuck with me for a long time. But I went against that feeling for the longest time, and, you know, did what I was supposed to do as everyone is telling me what I should be doing. And then eventually I just, you know, did my own research, and I found out a lot of things that I might talk about later in another episode about like where I found out the religion came from and why the King James version of the Bible was made, and who is King James and what did he do, the things he did to his mother and women, you know, things of that nature. You can look it up, but all of those things played a role in why I got to where I'm at today. And I'm not saying it's the best decision that I made in my life, but I can't lie, I feel a lot better. I feel free. I feel connected. I don't feel lost. And I feel like, yeah, I'm supposed to be here. I feel not enlightened, but a sense of purpose. And, you know, nobody did this to me. I found this on my own. I went out and did some research and I ended up here, and I'm still learning every day, every single day. So I would, you know, encourage everybody to do your own research and make sure like what you believe in is what you study. You know, you can't just go out here in the world and just blindly believe. If you have to know the word, know where it came from, who wrote this, who wrote that, because these people, bad people write stories too, just like great people do. But, you know, you have to know where the source came from and what the intent was. And that's where I'm coming from, because if I'm born just like the person who wrote a story, not saying the Bible, I'm just saying any story, just like a person who wrote a story is born just like I am, I have the same freedom that they do to create that story and to create my own story, you know. So our creator has created that person and myself to be able to do the same things in life and to experience the same things in life, no matter what. That's their free will. Here's my free will. And I know in my heart that I'm doing what's best for me. I feel no guilt. I don't feel lost or anything like that. I know I already said that, but yeah, so that's how I feel about this whole thing, man. But to the people that, like I said, they're celebrating today, you know, I hope y'all had a beautiful day. Spend time with your family and worship and praise who you praise. And yeah, I love it, man. So with that being said, I'm gonna just end that right here. I will come back to as far as like the history and how I got here, but I wanted to make this one a short video. But hopefully y'all guys stay safe, stay blessed. Peace out.